ERC, quality service since 1972, repairing TVs, console stereos, electronic musical instruments, pinball machines, arcade games, and more. Call 836-0454.
Hey, this is James Spann. This is the Weather Xtreme video for the 4th of July. For Friday, it's a holiday weekend. Many folks are out having fun, but hey, you're here, so let's talk weather. A lot to talk about. Let's go to some Skycam shots. These are taken at mid-morning today, and why not start with our Skycam down on the Alabama Gulf Coast? Typically, this is the most crowded weekend and week of the year down there, and you can see the weather is beautiful at mid-morning. A lot of sunshine, a lot of folks down there enjoying the surf and the sand. Demopolis up the river there. That's a look at the Tom Bigby. Looks like a big old barge coming north. That thing just came through the Demopolis Lock and Dam, which is right around the corner there. And in Birmingham, the sun is shining brightly on the city on this Independence Day. We've got a surface boundary north of the state this morning. You can kind of see that thing lined up from near Columbus, Ohio, down to about Tulsa. Drier air behind that, and this front will not have the push to make it down in here, so we'll stay in kind of a moist air mass, which means the chance of scattered afternoon storms for the foreseeable future. The severe weather risk is defined by the Storm Prediction Center today over Montana and Idaho. Yeah, this is not spring. This is summer, and there could be a strong storm or two somewhere around here, as always in a summer afternoon, with the greatest potential from a wet microburst. And, of course, a lot of lightning and all that, but in terms of the organized convection, it will be way up north. QPF map, this is for the next 5 days. The rain numbers are coming up. This is suggesting over 2 inches of rain for the Tennessee Valley and over 1 inch elsewhere across the state. And we note that big bullseye around Brownsville and McAllen, Texas, 6 inches there. That's with a tropical wave that seems to be headed their way. That's down in the Caribbean now, and the models want to take that down there toward the lower Texas coastal plain next week, and that could bring a lot of rain. Even a disorganized wave can produce some big-time rain amounts. And speaking of the tropics, we'll check Big Bertha. The sustained winds are up to 50 miles per hour. Seems to be sheared a little bit on the western side there. We'll take a look at the modeling first on Bertha. Well, first off, let's do this. Let's look at the track from the Hurricane Center. Then we'll look at modeling. This is the official track, and it takes it north, well to the north of the islands by midweek. And the conventional school is that this thing will recurve, and it probably will, but, you know, let's don't totally rule out that thing bending back toward the east coast of the United States. In fact, now we'll look at the modeling. And you can see that the poleward turn there toward the north is not as exaggerated in this run. In fact, you've got a couple of, like the Bam Shallow, really takes it just north of Puerto Rico here at 120 hours. Now, that's a shallow model. That's assuming the thing stays fairly weak. If it develops into a hurricane, it could, the more likely it would turn to the north. And really, in that kind of situation, it's got the fork in the road. It could recurve out in the middle of nowhere or bend back toward the United States at the ridge rebuilds. And this is the GFS ensembles. And again, understand that, yeah, you've got that northward turn in there, but it's not a lock. So our friends on the East Coast will have to kind of watch this, and we'll see in about a week where this whole thing stands. Here's a peek at the shear out there across the Atlantic Basin. And if it can maintain a lower latitude track, there's hardly any shear, really all the way from where it is now to the Caribbean. But the shear increases as you go farther north. We also note a lot of shear across the Caribbean. That little wave southwest of Puerto Rico just will not be able to develop because of that. But all in all, we'll just sit back and watch it. It'll be interesting to see if it does a recurve or tries to bend back next week. Here's a look at the 06Z run of the GFS, valid at 1 o'clock today. Still got ridging out west, a broad trough over the east, and at the surface, that surface boundary is north of us. We've got tropical air, so we'll see a few scattered showers and storms around today. Don't think too many barbecues will have rain to deal with, and most of them should be gone by 9 o'clock, fireworks time. Tomorrow, the same air mass is in place. The front goes nowhere. It's going to dissipate north of us, so very typical summer weather, scattered mainly afternoon showers and storms. Sunday looks the same. And really, you can plug that into almost every day next week. There's a look at Monday, very moist air mass. So a shower or storm, yep, they'll be around. Where? I can't tell you. Nobody can. They'll be scattered Tuesday, same air mass. Wednesday, I promise we're showing you different maps. They just look the same. And Thursday of next week. So really, between now and all of next week, every day, muggy, highs around 90, scattered, mainly afternoon showers and storms. And again, we note there that kind of tropical wave trying to move into the lower Texas or Mexican coast. We'll see if anything can crank up down there, but that will not affect us. Deeper into July the 15th, westerlies up north, ridging over much of the country. It's a 588 ridge, not a 594 ridge, thank goodness, so the heat should not be a runaway kind of heat. And down below that, probably a few air mass storms. End of the cycle on the 19th. A little weakness in that ridge shows up around here, and sometimes a little weakness can mean perhaps an enhanced chance of scattered showers and storms, but that's a long way away, and not much skill in trying to identify subtle changes that far in advance. That's it for the Weather Xtreme video today. We'll have notes on the blog. The next video will be tomorrow and Sunday. Brian Peters will have those, and we'll get back to the two-a-day schedule Monday of next week. My next one will be Monday at 7. Thanks for watching. Have a wonderful weekend, and God bless.